Taiwan officials are investigating a train crash that claimed dozens of lives on Friday. Ian Lee joining us now from London. And Ian, you're following this as well as a couple of other stories this morning. What can you tell us?
Good morning, Nancy. Rescue workers retrieved the last body from the wreckage today. Investigators are now working to get to the bottom of Taiwan's worst train accident in decades. 50 people died in last week's crash. The packed train was carrying more than 500 passengers when it hit a truck, and cars jumped the tracks and slammed into the walls of a tunnel, ripping them apart. Authorities are now looking into how the construction truck slid down a hill and onto the tracks. They suspect the brakes were not properly applied and are questioning the manager of the site, while the driver gave a tearful apology yesterday, saying he accepts responsibility. We now move on to Indonesia, where evacuations are underway after a tropical cyclone hit the country. The storm has triggered flooding and landslides that have killed dozens so far, while thousands are now homeless. Search and rescue operations are also underway. Authorities are scouring destroyed towns and villages for survivors, while patrolling off the coast looking for anyone swept away. The storm isn't over yet, and the country's president is urging people to follow instructions from local government officials. Next, we're in Jordan, where the country says it prevented what's being described as a coup attempt against King Abdullah. The country's deputy prime minister accused the former crown prince of trying to mobilize tribal leaders against the government. Prince Hamza bin Hussein allegedly worked with foreign entities to destabilize the state, and he denies the allegations but accused Jordan's leaders of corruption and incompetence. Another big question now is which foreign country or countries were behind the alleged attempted overthrow. Finally, we're in neighboring Israel, where Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has arrived in court in Jerusalem today. He is standing trial on 3 separate cases involving bribery, fraud, and breach of trust. And 3 judges will oversee the proceedings, which will see witnesses, including former aides, testify. Netanyahu denies any wrongdoing while describing the proceedings as a witch hunt. And Nancy, just like in the U.S., Netanyahu is innocent until proven guilty and wouldn't have to step down unless he's exhausted all his appeals. But what many are now watching is if he can form a new government after last month's election. And if successful, Netanyahu's rivals fear he'll try to push through legislation granting him immunity while in office.
Ian Lee in London. Ian, thank you.